hear how that right hand melody is singing out above the left hand? You can tell that the right hand has the more important role here because it's the tune of the piece or the melody. And this is a very typical texture in piano music. So in order to play expressively, we need to be able to balance our hands. Or in other words, we need to be able to make one hand louder than the other. It seems like it should be easy, but those of us who have tried before know that it's not quite so simple. So today I'm giving you 2 exercises that will help develop balanced hands. Before we begin, I wanted to let you know that I'm on Twitch, where I stream my practice sessions. I wanted more accountability in my practicing, so I've scheduled practice time every morning from Monday to Saturday at 6:15 a.m. Central. On average, I have about 1 view per session, but I'm not really doing it for the views. If you're curious to see how I practice and what I'm practicing, feel free to pop in, say hi or not, and I'll be there. All right, first let me show you the little mini exercise or the mini song that we're going to be using for these exercises. So our left hand thumb is going to be right here on middle C, and then our right hand thumb is going to go on treble C or the C above middle C. And then the right hand melody is E, D, F, E. Or if it's easier for you, you can think of your finger numbers. So that would be 3, 2, 4, 3. Okay, so that's it for the right hand. Then the left hand goes C, G, G, C. Or fingering is 1, 4, 4, 1. And then together sounds like this. So be sure you can play these notes comfortably together before you move on to the actual exercises. You don't need to worry about balance of the hands quite yet, but we do want to make sure that this is an easy melody or tune for you to play. If it's very difficult for you right now, that just means that you need to focus on other things aside from balancing your hands. So come back to this video later when you establish a good playing foundation and you can play this exercise quite easily. But for everyone else, let's get into exercise 1. We'll start by playing the right hand only while our left hand air plays its notes. Okay, so that will look like this. So your right hand should be using arm weight from your whole arm to help give you a nice, strong singing tone. And then your left hand is airplaying and just kind of using feather light weight. So in a sense, if you were using one of those old-fashioned scales, your right side would be lower to the ground because it feels heavier. And everybody's different, but I'd say to repeat this exercise about 5 or 6 times. But again, if after 5 or 6 times it still doesn't feel that great to you, then that just means you want to keep repeating it and practicing it. Once that feels good, we're going to move on to exercise 2. Here, we're going to separate our hands. Our right hand will play its note with a nice strong touch, and then our left hand will follow, but very softly. So it'll look like this. So really exaggerate that right hand loud tone. It doesn't matter if it doesn't sound the greatest right now. We just want to get used to feeling that weight in the right hand while the left hand is playing just very softly. Okay, so do that until you feel in control of how loud or soft each note is. Then the next step is to increase the speed between the right hand and left hand. So the notes will be getting closer and closer together. So it looks a little bit like this. And we're still exaggerating the loud versus the soft. And then we're going to get even closer together. Okay, and maybe even closer. If you're feeling like it's getting a little bit out of control, that probably means you're going too quickly. So you can think right, left, pause, right, left, pause. So right, left, pause, right, left, pause, right, left, pause, right, left, pause. Okay, so keep working on that speed, getting the right hand notes and the left hand notes closer together. So eventually they'll almost be playing at the exact same time. Almost. Okay, you're still exaggerating the loud and soft. Now, once you feel good about that, then you're going to try to put them together. Okay. Remember, your right hand has more arm weight in it and should feel like you're pressing down into dough. Not super hard, but just enough to make a little indent in the dough. And it's kind of like if you've ever seen kitties kneading or making biscuits. It's pressing. Okay? So your fingers are acting as supports for your arm. They're not super tense. They're not gripping the keys. They're just acting like stilts or supports for your arm weight. And your left hand is feather light. Hardly any weight is in it at all. And it kind of feels like you're just dabbing a crumb off the table, just very lightly. Just dab, dab. So do these exercises every time you practice as a warm-up, and you can use it with your own repertoire, whatever you're working on right now. When you feel like you've got the right hand louder than the left pretty good, make sure to also do these exercises with the left hand having the louder part. You don't need to change the notes, just make the left hand louder than the right. After a few sessions of this, you'll hear a huge improvement in the balance between your hands, and you'll feel more in control. So good luck, and thanks for watching. See you at your next lesson.